All right, Kimberly Guilfoyle joins me now to talk more about this. Good to have you on, Kim. First, I just want to get your reaction to the speech we saw last night.
I mean, a whole lot of crazy, right? I mean, Sarah Huckabee Sanders said it best. I mean, this is just lunacy, but the guy can sit there and address the American people and tell one deceptive lie after the next. And, whether it's the economy, he lies about that. He doesn't want to talk about, inflation and what's gone on. He doesn't want to talk about out of work Americans. They want to talk about gas prices. They want to talk about China, God forbid. And that's just literally getting punked by every foreign adversary. It's a sad day in America that this is the president of the United States, and what he has done in 2 years has just been an abysmal failure. I don't even think anybody actually thought it was going to be this bad, the state that we're in right now.
I don't expect a lot from politicians on either side of the aisle, especially in these moments. But it is astonishing to me to see how Joe Biden, who, in so many ways is one of the sleaziest in Washington, how he has manufactured this image of integrity that is now being, that's being pushed onto all of us. We're expected to just buy that image of him.
Yeah, it's really true. It's a great point, because he really has proved himself to be not only the most incompetent, but the most corrupt American president that we've ever had. The self-dealing, the financial influence, and the influence peddling that he's been able to accomplish, and his son, Hunter Biden, while at the same time trying to use and weaponize the government agencies against President Trump in one witch hunt after the next. And it's just appalling. I mean, nothing, sticks to him. It just, he thinks like, hey, there's nothing to see here, folks. We're just going to keep on doing what we're doing. But now the Democrats are even turning against him and exposing some of this, because they don't even want him as a candidate, let's be honest, in 24.
Do you think they're still sticking with that? I mean, it did seem like, the praise that he got after the speech last night, it seemed like all of a sudden everybody was back on his team. And I that was amazing.
No, I think they were just in such relief and shock and awe that the guy could even get through the State of the Union. It was like, that's amazing. They give him an A, even if his report card should read an F for what he's done with this country. But, they're going to put on a brave face and say, okay, this is the deal. But behind the scenes, we know what's happening. The deep state and whatnot is working against him. They don't want him to be the candidate in 2024. They cannot win with him. He has an abysmal record. This is not a record of winning and strength. It is a record of abject failure. Failure should not be rewarded. He doesn't have one metric that he can rely on to say that he has put this country in a better place. He cares not at all for the working men and women. He said, they haven't been forgotten. Well, yes, sir, you in fact have forgotten them. You've tried to control their lives. You've left them behind, and you have no intention of restoring any kind of middle-class prosperity.
Yeah, and speaking of that for a second, he brought up as you said, the forgotten men and women, people that come from these places of the country like the Rust Belt, where Trump did so well in 2016. He's obviously making a big appeal to them in this moment and last night. He's really good. It was very early in the speech he brought this up. This is a president that was in full support of TPP, in full support of NAFTA, these free trade deals. This is a guy that when he was in the Senate was lobbied heavily by major corporations to push free trade, to vote for free trade in this country, which absolutely eviscerated the working class in this country, all those factories to Mexico, to China, to Southeast Asia. He is one of the biggest purveyors of what destroyed, I think, so much of the American economy and American jobs. And last night, he's trying to portray himself as the savior of it. And I just thought that was so rich.
It really is. The hypocrisy is unbelievable. It just shows he has no moral compass, no integrity. He'll say and do whatever it takes, and he does not care. I actually think he does not care about what's happening across this country. We're not going to forget the gas prices. We're not going to forget bare shelves Biden, okay? We're not going to forget that the U.S. has been made a laughing stock, that our adversaries don't fear us at all. The whole thing with the China spy balloon. He just has shown himself to be a weak and feckless leader, and the American people deserve better. We've had 50 years of this bumbling idiot. I'm so sorry, but it's true. And he has, in fact, built that disaster with the policies that he has supported that has hurt the American economy and the middle class. They're not going to forget. What I'm insulted by is that he thinks that Americans are stupid, that we're not going to remember this, that people don't think about it when they're having a hard time to pay their bills or put food on the table for their children. People remember, they have a memory for this, and they will vote with their heart and conscience and their pocketbooks.
Yeah. But before we let you go, as you know, we're in this battle with DirecTV. The timing is critical as we move into an election year. Here was Jason Miller earlier today on our air.
But what we see with DirecTV doing, they want to constrict any center or center-right viewpoints from being on the air, make sure that the Republican nominee does not have nearly the bandwidth as, say, the Democratic nominee.
Well, you know, we're the only major network that carries the Trump rallies these days. It's not surprising that they want us gone, apparently.
It's unbelievable, and it's censorship, it's outrageous, it's un-American, it violates the freedom of speech. You know, people love Newsmax. I hear it all the time from everybody. They love watching the programs like yours, and that's the only place where they can actually get the truth and the facts, the real truth. And it's appalling what DirecTV did and AT&T, and everyone is calling for them to put you guys back on. But that's why we have to have, you know, platforms like yours. I'm at Rumble, at Kimberly Guilfoyle with Don Jr., because otherwise you can't get your voice out there. People can't get the news that they deserve to hear in this country. It's like we're living in a communist state. Yeah, that's what they want. They just want their agenda, and that's it. Kim, thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you again. All right, you as well.